Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Let me thank the panel for being with us today. Mr. Shaw, you indicated in response to a question from the chairman that you, quote, "I'm committed to doing what's right," end quote. Well, I think all of us are committed to doing what's right, but the devil is in the details.
Notably, the child income tax credit would increase as much as $600 from $175 per child. Per child credits would taper into $400 and $200 to families with higher earnings. The entire package would cost the state more than $500 million in foregone government income. It still leaves room for direct individuals tax rebates of $300 or $600. The bill would overhaul income tax brackets with lower rates from some demographics and higher rates for top earners, as high as 6.9% for individuals making more than $250,000. Even a Democratic senator has said he favors cash rebates that are focused on people with fixed incomes and the poor. Fearing universal rebates will lead to markups on retail prices as rebate checks and transfers go out. I also want to say that during his State of the State address, the governor of Ohio said it's a budget that focuses on our people, on our families, and on our children. It reflects our obligation to make sure that every person has the state and tools to succeed, to get a good job, and to live the financial dreams they've always had. Folks, we have a ton of news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSDI and SGA. There's a ton of information that you guys have to know. Here it is, everybody. There's a ton of news about this. But first, I want to say thank you for your support. Thank you for watching my channel. And as a way for me to say thank you, here is a $60 free Amazon gift card. What you got to do to redeem it is pretty much enter the code at the checkout aisle on Amazon.com. If you have any purchases you want to make on Amazon within the $60, just be sure to enter the code on Amazon, and it should work out. Now, thank you so much for your support, folks. And remember, this is a free $60 Amazon gift card.
The city to finalize eligibility criteria and distribution logistics by the end of this week. Their community relations manager told me they'll start by helping people who've already applied.
Everybody, the Biden administration has just made a huge announcement. President Biden and the federal government have agreed to distribute billions of dollars to lower energy costs for millions of people. Hundreds of dollars in extra relief cash can actually be claimed right now. And the Biden administration, hundreds of dollars in extra relief cash can actually be claimed right now. Here's some big news, folks. The Biden administration is now distributing up to $4.5 billion in federal assistance to help so many low-income Americans. This comes as they brace for another season of sky-high energy cost. Now, the funds for the low-income home energy assistance program stem from regular appropriations by Congress. Additional emergency funding lawmakers included in September's continuing resolution and $100 million from the bipartisan infrastructure law that passed last year. And according to the Department of Health and Human Services, folks, the program's funds are distributed to states, which use the money to help people pay their home, and also cooling costs, settle arrears, and make home energy repairs to lower their utility bills in the future. So the agency has said that more than 5 million households were served with stimulus payments this past year. Advocates including Mark Wolf, Executive Director of the National Energy and Assistance Directors Associations, have said that the cost of home energy this winter is at the highest level in more than 15 years. He also stated that while the additional funding will help to offset at least some of the increase in home energy prices this winter, I'm concerned that the additional funding for the program will not provide the states with sufficient flexibility to help families address higher prices. Now, folks, this could be an issue to many Americans all across the nation. We all know that stimulus payments are very, very important. And according to an Energy Information Administration report last month, the cost of heating for a home with natural gas this winter is expected to increase in oil prices by about 20% on average. That's above $930. So those who heat with oil can expect to pay 27% more, bringing their bill to $2,300 for the season. Electrical heat costs are also projected to rise 10% to $1,400, while heating costs with propane is expected to cost 5% more, with the bill hitting $1,600.88. Now, these increases come on top of hefty hikes like last winter. So the Department of Energy announced on Wednesday that it is allocating nearly $9 billion more to states and tribes for home efficiency programs under the Inflation Reduction Act, which passed in August. According to a White House fact sheet distributed this week, the new rebate program could help us and help up to 1.6 million households upgrade their homes and apartments to lower energy bills, including this by up to 500,000 heat pumps and conducting deep building retrofits through insulation and electrical wings. So everybody, this on top of the estimated 700,000 homes that will be weatherized with the expanded Weatherization Assistance Program. Under the bipartisan infrastructure law, states can now begin planning programs to distribute the Inflation Reduction Act, which helps fund to many families. The Federal Reserve also said today that it was raising its short-term borrowing rate by another 0.75% to slow key areas of the economy and tame inflation. That's at a 40-year high, in fact. The central bank said its new target range is 3.75 to 4%. It's the highest level since 2008 in January. And the aggressive move is the latest in a string of borrowing cost increases imposed by the Fed in recent months as it tries to just slash prices increases by cooling the economy and choking off demand. The approach, however, risks tipping the U.S. into recession and putting millions of people out of work. The fourth rate hike of 2022 arrives less than a week before the midterm elections, and federal officials even said that in a statement, the committee anticipates the ongoing increases in the target range will be appropriate in order to attain a stance of monetary policy that is sufficiently restrictive to return inflation to 2% over time. Data on consumer prices released last month just showed that costs rose 0.4% on a seasonally adjusted basis in September. It delayed efforts and defied efforts to bring prices down. So overall, we all know that and realize that President Biden should actually
in America, creating jobs. We're going to invest in America again. We're going to make it in America again, and the federal government's going to buy America. That's been my economic vision. But what does this progress really mean for families trying to get by? I'll tell you, it means more people with good jobs and the dignity and security that comes with a paycheck. And while we still have more to do, and there may be setbacks along the way, inflation is now down 30% from what it was this summer. Gas prices are down more than $1.50 since their peak. At the same time, take-home pay for workers has gone up, especially for lower, and this is important in my view, especially for lower and middle income workers. This all adds up to just a little bit. I know you're tired of hearing me saying breathing room, but I think that's how people think about it, a little more breathing room for working families. And today's job numbers is clear. Our economy is moving in the right direction. Yesterday, I went down to a hall in Philadelphia to lay out my budget and outlines of my budget with bills on the progress we made growing an economy from the middle up and the bottom up and not the top down. It's a plan that keeps investing in American manufacturing, innovation, and creates more good-paying jobs that don't require a college degree. It protects, strengthens Medicare, Social Security, two bedrock programs Americans have been paying into for every paycheck they've earned since they've been a kid. And we're paying for these investments. We're paying for it all. My plan, after it's all said and done, is going to cut the deficit nearly $3 trillion over the next 10 years.